What you talking about now, Cine? I don't know, but you're gonna get some nuggets out of it though. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn that bell on. There's a new video series dropping every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the random jam session whenever I'm in my bag. You do not want to miss out. Also, be sure to check out my books, man. The link's in the description below, right along with my vegan class if you're trying to go plant-based and stay plant-based. I'm telling you, it works. Oh, and lastly, be sure to follow me on Instagram at _just_scene_. The nuggets I don't put over here, I put over there, so you can always get me when you need me. But you ain't really coming for all of that. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So we look at how this dynamic plays out, and we internalize things the wrong way. You feel what I'm saying? So within our self-mastery, we have to take that step further to ascend. And the ascension part is very difficult because of what you have to let go and what you have to embrace. It's hard to embrace yourself. It's hard to embrace yourself when you've already been conditioned, like I said, running back to your childhood, that I was a born sinner. That means I'm not good. You feel me? My creator, I have to be born again. Like, think about that. I have to be born again. My creator made a mistake. What created me fucked up. You feel me? How would that make you feel? You feel what I'm saying? On a grander scale, like, this is where the part of the partial insanity comes in, because we accept this ideology and we accept these realities, and we say, this being says I was, I have to be born again, but I was created in the image of this being. So I was created. If I feel like this being is perfect and I was created in a perfect image, but I have to be born again because it messed up, is that being messed up, or is it just you as the image that is messed up? But the image is the direct reflection of something. See, so it's very tricky when you start to play the semantics and you put the different words into it, because then it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? But again, you accept that ideology that you have to be born again. You have to go through a certain process to be transformed and be made whole and be made over and all of this shit. That gives you no room to love and embrace yourself. Because how can you embrace what has to be born again? Again, I'm not knocking anybody's belief system. I know that they have their potency and their powers and shit, but I also know they have their flaws too, because humans made them. Humans are supposedly reporting the story. We know humans are fucked up and they're biased and they're always going to be, in conflict with themselves in that reality. So, when we take on that I have to be born again, that I'm nothing without this being. I grew up in a very, very, Christian household, but we were non-denominational type, but gospel music through the house and everything like that. And listening to some of the music that some of my favorite artists, growing up, it was just like, now that I listen to it, I'm like, yo, they weren't doing shit but reaffirming bullshit. Because when you understand music penetrates the soul a lot harder. When, words penetrate the soul a lot harder when they're rhymed out and when there's a heavy beat or there's bass lines in between it, right? So bam, when we put that into perspective, listen to some of the music that they have. Some of my favorite songs were so dark when I look at them. They promoted depression. You feel me? And I always wonder, we be in church and motherfuckers be singing these songs and break down crying. Lord, I ain't worthy. Lord, I ain't this, I ain't that. This is what they're screaming. This is what they're affirming over themselves. And this is why it gets fucked up, because when you understand the spiritual energy, like the Uraeus and shit like that, and you understand Kundalini, your Kundalini is stirred up in church during the praise team, praise worship and shit like that. When they're playing the heavy drums, that's how your Kundalini swole up. So by the time you start preaching, your soul is open. So whenever he hits you, whatever shit you say, it hits your soul, it penetrates your unconscious mind, and that's the behavior you start to act out. Like I was saying, you got the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is tapped into when your Kundalini is open. So when your Kundalini rises and you're starting to absorb this bullshit, this is what happened. So, we had the jam sessions and shit in church. Everybody loving the music. Everybody up. And then they play those sad songs. They play those songs that say, I ain't worth it. They play those songs that, about giving a second chance, about, wiping my slate clean, about how, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't nothing without you or none of that. Like that's a very like you're creating a codependency thing, and I get it. A lot of people feel like I have to be dependent upon this thing. Why? Tell me why. Were you dependent on that thing to walk? Were you dependent on that thing to learn to talk? You couldn't have been because you don't remember it. Now, mind you, another pivotal piece to that is that people say you had to be introduced to something that was with you all your life. What was the only thing that was with you all your life other than you? But anyway.